welcome back to 13C. Today we're taking a look at this Holosun optic. It's in for testing from our friends at Optics Planet, and this is the HS515C-U. It's got the circle dot combination. Got something interesting in store for you guys, so let's talk about the rest of this over there. Alright, so let's get right into the water testing. Yeah, just kidding, it's 33 degrees out here. I'm not risking going swimming. Let's try something else. As I mentioned in the intro, this is the HS515C-U. This has got that 65 MOA outer circle as well as the 2 MOA dot. You can alternate between those. You can run the circle and the dot or just the dot by itself. Before we get any further though, let's get this guy off here. We've got a test we're going to perform here while we're actually talking. The QD mount locks up nice and solid. To disengage it, you push on the back and then you can swing your lever forward. It comes off, comes with both high and low rise mounts. And on the top here, you've got that solar panel on the top, which will let you use the sun to power it or the battery alternately. And the battery life on this guy runs about 10,000 hours according to Holosun. Now I've had this guy in here for testing for about 6 weeks, I want to say. And here we go. We've got the dot is on and working. We'll see if we can put that in there for you so that you can actually maybe hopefully see through there. Well, you can. We've got a 5-gallon bucket of water here. In she goes. So you've got that battery, which I mentioned, standard 2032 battery. It's got about 10,000 hour rating on it. Right now it's in a 5-gallon bucket of water right here. We lost about 2 inches driving it out here on the back of the UTV, but otherwise it's a full bucket. IP67 rating. The 6 stands for dust penetration. That's the highest level to prevent dust and dirt and debris incursion. And the 7 is out of an 8 scale for water resistance. So the 7 means that it's rated for 30 minutes at 1 meter. So 30 minutes underwater, 1 meter static water. That's not water pressure, it's not water influx. I have some more information on that another thing. So I'm not throwing in the pond today. It's hard to tell with the sunshine, but it's actually 33 degrees out here, at least it was on my phone. As the sun continues to drop, it's probably gonna start dropping in temperature. So honestly, I don't wanna throw a rifle into the water for no reason right now if I don't have to. What's the point other than maybe showing off a little bit? Put in a 5-gallon bucket of water, it's gonna do about the same thing. Plus then I can prove the depth this guy was at, which is a little over a foot deep. So we've gone through some of those facts. Let's talk about a little more here. It comes with the kill flash as well as those flip caps that you saw. I do not have the kill flash on there simply because trying to blow it out after dumping in the water, that's gonna be a pain today. Depending on the kill flash, it can make it difficult to acquire targets at further distances. With this one, I would say I'm kind of on the fence about if you're going to be using the rifle at a distance of over 100 yards, I would say the kill flash is going to be, it's just not going to work out very well in my opinion. Otherwise, inside of 100 yards, you'll be fine. It's listed as being Parallax free, plus or minus 1 MOA. It's powered by an LED as opposed to a laser, so it is safe for your eyes. And speaking of that reticle, it is nice and crisp and clean, even with a bit of the astigmatism that I have in my right eye. I'm not seeing really a lot of crazy stuff that can happen occasionally, depending on what it is. And my astigmatism varies depending. I'm digressing at this point though. It's also got 12 brightness settings from night vision setting all the way up to the maximum super bright. I put it out here on maximum super bright when we had some snow and other inclement weather out here, and I haven't seen any issues with that as far as it washing out, which can happen on some optics. You can take it out of that automatic mode, which that sensor on top, that solar panel, which also can power it, also is a ambient light sensor. You can take it off of that automatic mode, push and hold the plus button for 3 seconds, and that will drop it over into manual mode, and then you can manually control the brightness up and down. Generally speaking, I haven't seen any issues with it picking up the brightness other than what can occur on almost anything that senses the ambient light. It's sensing ambient light basically from the top. So if you're inside a house and looking outside of a front door or window and it's dark in the house and it's bright outside, you are going to come up with an issue there as far as that washing out. There's 2 ways to get over that. One of them, kicking into manual mode and bump your brightness up, or put some kind of lighting device over the top of it. Obviously, since this has a manual mode, hit your button for 3 seconds, it'll automatically kick it back up to where it was last set in manual mode, and you've negated that problem. Now, we're not going to let this thing go for the full 30 minutes. I don't think anybody wants to sit out here for that long and watch this. We'll go over the rifle setup here real quick. This rifle actually has a CMMG heavy barrel on the front of it. For this setup and what I'm doing with it, and there'll be a review on this coming up in the future of this package, I actually have a Faxon barrel coming in. I love the CMMG barrel. This heavy barrel on here is easily shoot 1-inch groups at 100 yards all day long with this thing with quality ammo. But it being a heavy barrel, it's front end heavy, so I'm getting a really low profile, thin barrel for what this setup is going to be. And UPS has lost it. It's been about 28 days and counting now on how long they've had it. So we'll see how long that insurance claim takes to get reimbursed for that one. Here we have the KES stock here from Safety Harbor. This is a pretty cool stock. Collapses in nice and tight. Really changes your overall length. Our standard M4 stock is going to come to about here. Has a proprietary bolt carrier that it comes with as well to work properly. And this guy on this one has a QD mount on the side here to put a QD sling on the back here if you're so inclined. Pretty cool. The lower here is from Etched Ordnance. You can make this out. I've got some other pictures. They've engraved the 13C logo on there, which is really cool. Solid logo on there, and then this Mid-America Armament front quick detach rail, which is actually a really cool rail. We did a video on this. You can change your front barrel out in under 60 seconds and be ready to go with a different barrel. Pretty slick setup. Anyway, that's enough talking about this. Let's get back onto the optic here. I think it's been long enough. Right, and let's see where we're at. There we go. We are nice and bright. Hopefully the camera will pick that up here. If not, handy dandy paper towels here. We're going to wipe this guy off really quick just in case our temperature has dipped below. I don't want this freezing up with a bunch of water on it, and then we're not able to use it here for the rest of the, or at least it's fogged up and whatever. Speaking of which, we've got water, which when I came out here with it not long ago was probably in the 65-ish degree range. Not sure where it's at, but this is nice and clear. Excuse me while I step behind here. Hopefully we can show you guys. Here, I'll do this. There we go. And there it is right there. You can tell there's no fogging or anything. You can look through this guy and you can see perfectly clear there. All right, so I know exactly where this was on here from before. I'm going to put it in the exact spot it was before. And we're also going to do a little bit of a return to zero test on this as well. So we are locked back into place. We're using some Federal American Eagle XM193 out here today. Let's go ahead and put a few more rounds through this and we'll be ready to go. Speaking of which, I better get my ears back on because, as you can tell, there's no silencer on here today. So I just pulled this guy out of the water. Let's put a few rounds through it and see how she does. She's definitely on steel. I think I'm going to put a couple more rounds through this. First, I'm going to paint that shootsteel.com target. I got it wrapped up in a warm towel that I brought in from inside, so this paint will still work. I'll take a knee, I'll put a few rounds through it, we'll go down and we'll take a look. So we got some fresh paint on this. I took a knee out at 50 yards, squeezed off 3 rounds, and here we go. So this is that Federal XM193 ammo. I don't think there's really any real sort of point impact shift here. Obviously, I could have put it in a rest and tried to tighten up these groupings, but for practical purposes, I'm more than happy with what we're seeing right here today. Speaking of what we're seeing, the optic is still nice and clear. There's no fogging inside. The circle itself, the dot is still nice and crisp and clear. No indications of any water penetration. And considering the difference in temperatures, the 65-ish degree water, the 32 degree air temperature out here today, I would assume with those thermal differences that if something did get in there, as some gas, argon or nitrogen gas, whatever's in here to purge this, had any issues with that, we would be seeing at least some sort of fogging or something like that on the lenses. I'm not seeing anything like that. So the testing we've seen from the past 6 weeks, I'm pretty pleased with this guy overall. You can check below in the description for all the links to everything, including this guy over at Optics Planet. 13C subscribers can save 5% off with the code GUNREVIEWS. Thank you to Optics Planet for extending that offer out to our subscribers. Speaking of which, if you haven't, please take a moment to subscribe. It goes a long way letting us know that we're doing out here is of value and lets you know when we post new videos. Thanks again, everybody. Facebook.com/GunReviews, as well as Instagram. We are at 13C Gun Reviews. Take care, stay safe. We'll talk soon.